100-year-old forgetful mother of a famous artist that I couldn't remember who it was. Remember last week?
Yes, I recall that. Now, did you remember exactly?
Yeah, I remember.
Did you now?
Yes, I.
What did you say?
My son's name is James Whistler.
Ah, there it is. Whistler's mother. You see?
You got it. That would make me Whistler's mother.
You see what we did there? You see? That's good.
How clever of you.
Oh, well, I'm big time.
Yeah. And this week I'm gonna be drawing for my out there in television.
Get out of town.
Yeah, we're gonna be drawing, and we're gonna be using all those angles that we learned how to use last week. Yes, we're gonna use those angles.
Perfect. Well, let me just stand back and just.
Well, don't fall over the easel on your way out.
I'll step around.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do this week. We're going to start, and this is the picture that we're going to. Can we have a picture of this? This is the picture that we're going to do this week. Okay. Now we're going to start real simple. So we're going to start back here, and I'm going to, through the magic of television, we're going to start like this. And I have my piece of paper already here on the board, and we're going to start. So, chalk, ruler, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, first thing, you're going to connect diagonals from this angle to that angle on your paper. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go very lightly. Going to connect diagonals. Very lightly. Okay, you know what? I can't see this. So maybe I should put the other glasses on. That's what was wrong. Sorry about this, folks. Oh, okay, I see it now. Oh, yes. Fabulous. Let's go the other way. We're connecting our diagonals. Now remember, if your ruler isn't long enough to reach the diagonals, the most important thing is that the lines be straight. Okay, they have to be straight. If you didn't make the corner, don't worry about it. That's okay. All right, now since our piece of paper is a rectangle, it has 4 right angles, but since it's a rectangle, the intersecting diagonals will not intersect at right angles. Okay, so this is an acute angle, an obtuse angle, and an obtuse angle. Already, we just started, and we have angles. Let's go to number 2. Number 2. Now I've highlighted everything that's new on the picture. Okay, so we're going to put in these 2 lines right here, and we're going to put our ruler on the intersection of those 2 lines, and we're going to make a V. A V. Let's make a V. Okay, see that? Looks like a V, an upside down V. Now we're going to make another one and a little teeny tiny V. So I call that my fat V and my skinny V. Fat V and skinny V. Okay. Ta-da. Are we all together here now? Now we're going to start the next one. Okay, I wonder why this isn't highlighted. Okay, we just added those 2 lines over here. So we're going to do fat V, skinny V, and we always put our ruler on the intersection of those first 2 lines. So let's do that again. Okay. Fat V, skinny V. Okay. Tiny little acute angles, acute angle. Okay, and now these are acute, everything's acute now. Now, next page. Okay, now we're putting in our little sidewalk lines. Now this is a sidewalk. The way I want to make absolutely sure that I'm going to have parallel lines, parallel with the base of my paper, because that's what these lines are. They're parallel with the base of our paper, and they make an acute angle and an obtuse angle. Okay, So I lay my ruler on the bottom of my paper, and that's how I know that these lines are parallel with the base of my paper because my ruler's parallel. Okay? Now I lay my ruler on those two lines, and I make the next two. I draw my ruler sitting on the bottom of my ruler sitting on those lines, and I draw along the top. And I do this all the way up. And every single angle that I'm making, every time a line converges to another line, it makes an angle. Okay, folks? Now, the further we get down the street, the lighter those lines become, and after a while they disappear. So this is all the lines I'm going to put on. Now, I'm going to make the curved lines. Curved lines go straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down, straight down. Now I'm going to eyeball it. Okay, this looks straight down to me. Yep. Straight down, straight down. But I'm not sure, so I want to check. And you know what? They are at right angles. So if you have a piece of paper, you have a protractor, a little partial protractor. So I'm going to take my piece of paper, I'm going to check. Yes, I did. I made a right angle. I made another right angle, another right angle. So if yours start to look funny, check to see if you made right angles. So I'm going to do this just eyeballing it here. Now let's go to the next page. Okay, we passed this. We passed that. Now, dots. You see these little dots up here? Do you see the dots? Dots, 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 dots. I say to my students, between this point and the end of my paper on this line, I'm going to find a spot right in the center and make a dot. And then between this point and that dot, I make another dot halfway in between. Then halfway between here and here, make another dot. Halfway between here and here, make another dot. Halfway, halfway, halfway. Do the same thing on the other side. Halfway between here and here, put a dot. Halfway between here and here, put another dot. And you're just eyeballing it. It's not that crucial. Okay? And then this is where you want to not get, don't fake it now, okay? This time you want these lines, these dots to drop straight down into lines, okay? Don't get creative with the lines. That's the only place where I want lines. So we're going to drop straight down from the dot, okay? Lines. Now all these lines, some of them will be in the picture and some of them are reference lines. Okay? Straight down, straight down, straight down, all the way to the end. Do the same thing on the other side. You're going straight down. You're making an acute angle on one side, acute angle, obtuse angle. Okay? If you look at yours and you've got two right angles, you know your lines don't go straight down. They must go straight down. They must be vertical. Fabulous, guys. Thank you so much. They're dropping like yo-yos. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Now we're up to, our lines suddenly turned into something. Now, this is the edge of my paper. See this blue line here? That's the edge of my paper. I was just too lazy to cut off the rest of the little pieces over here. So that's the edge of my paper. And that's the only telephone pole that I really want to see is that one right there. And I only see a piece of it because the other side of it is off the paper. So I'm going to take and I'm going to draw right on the edge of my paper a half telephone pole. Half telephone pole. And I want it to look round, okay? So I'm going to lay my chalk down and kind of do this, okay? Close enough. And then maybe I'll just kind of round it off at the top, round it off at the bottom, and do a thing here with my thumb here, not going over the line, okay? Just coming, so I give a little feeling of round, okay? Next telephone pole is just going to be kind of like a fat line. Fat line. Okie dokie. Fat line. Close enough. Now, I usually tell my students I don't spend a lot of time looking at telephone poles. But I know that they hold up telephone wires and they have things that look like this, that go straight across and hold up the telephone wires. So I'm just going to pretend that I know what I'm doing here and do that. Now remember, the other side of it is off the paper. So we're doing this, and maybe a little bit underneath because we're looking up at it, okay? And then they have these little things here that are holding up the wires. Holding up the wires. Now, this is a reference line. If this wasn't chalk on paper, I would be able to erase that. All right, let's do some more. Now, these go straight across. They make right angles. They are at right angles with the telephone pole. Okay? Don't think that just because you're looking at it from an angle that they're not. They are at right angles to the telephone pole. Okay? Now, when I get real far back here, I'm going to just put it in like freehand. Close enough. Okay, we're done with the telephone poles. Let's flip the page. Now we start trees. Every single one of these lines becomes a tree. So I've yellowed in the tree. Okay? Now, only tree I want to see is the one right on the edge of my paper. So I'm going to put in a half a tree, just like I put in a half of a telephone pole. And okay, tree. Maybe it'll even go off. And here's a branch. And the branch comes back. Now, I want to make it look a little bit round, so I'm going to take my chalk and I'm going to follow that line. And I'm going to hope that it looks a little bit on the round side. Okay.
Why don't you make like a tree?
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Okay, and then you take your thumb and you do the bit on the side here to make it look a little bit on the round side. And okay, now remember, even though it's a tree, the branches come off at angles to other branches. So always put your pen on a branch. Gee, I look fabulous here. Okay, I put my pencil on a branch and I come off that branch at some angle to that branch. Now this looks like acute, that looks like obtuse. Now I'm going to put the next branch on. I'm going to put it on the branch I just drew. Ah, close enough. Put it on the branch I just drew. Good job. Okay, fabulous. Okay, let's do always putting your pen or pencil on something you just drew. Don't just go, like making marks out in space. They all have to come from someplace. Okay. So, and they are at some angle, and even if I'll draw one that's at right angles, okay, that doesn't look bad, okay, okay, fabulous, okay, nobody's going to go and scrutinize your tree. Next tree is much smaller, it's skinnier, it goes closer to the line, okay, skinnier and closer to the line, okay, then for every branch is another branch. Every branch, another branch coming off. And move your chalk quickly. And it goes at an angle to what you've just drawn. Okay? And remember, you can cover up a multitude of sin if you just keep putting in branches. They can tangle in with other branches. And okay, fabulous. Okay, let's make our tree look a little bit round. Fabulous. Okay, close enough. Let's go to the next tree. It's even skinnier yet. It might even just be part of the line. Okay, just kind of like a fat line. And let's go. And remember, I always tell my students before they start their tree, they say, somewhere on the earth there's a tree that looks exactly like this tree. My tree is beautiful. Okay, then start drawing your tree and it's fine. You know your tree is going to be good. Okay, next one. I just see a little bit of bottom, I see a little bit of top, and that's blah, blah. Okay, now we're in business. Okay, light is coming from the left side, so all of our shadow is going to go across and into the street. Shadow, okay. And don't spend a lot of time trying to make exactly what you're doing here. Oh, this should have gone all the way down. Okay, now here's the shadow for the telephone poles. close enough. All right, let's get our, oh, telephone wires aren't straight. They do this. Now you're going to get rid of this line right here. I can't do it because I don't have any way to get rid of it. And you're just going to very lightly, okay? Your horizon line goes right through your vanishing point. Try not to go through your trees and your telephone poles if you can help it. Okay, and then put something on the horizon, okay? Maybe some mountains. Okay, this sounds good to me. Mountains are always nice. Okay, now, do I have much time? Okay, I've got 3 minutes. Let's do a 3-minute car right down the center of the street. Okay, here is the line in the middle of the street. Now you see this sidewalk that I drew? I'm going to do that again right here. Sidewalk in middle of street. And it goes to the vanishing point just like the other one did. So here's a line, but I don't draw it all the way to the vanishing point because I can't get rid of it. Okay, you can. So you can draw it all the way to the vanishing point. And then, okay, close enough. Now, if it's a sidewalk, it's got everything that the sidewalk had. It has, and I'm trying to get to the end of this, okay, it has curb. It has at least 3 sidewalk lines, maybe more. Okay, here we go, more sidewalk lines, more sidewalk lines. And this last one, I'm going to make into a rectangle, okay? And then I'm going to make it look more car-like by writing something here, putting in a couple of lights. We're almost there, almost, okay? This top needs to be offset. So we're going to move it over exactly the way it is, but we're going to move it over to the right, just slightly, and it's really hard to draw with this chalk. Okay, just slightly moves over to the right. Yep. And goes to the vanishing point, the part that moved over slightly. Okay, and then we're going to come down to the car. Okay, and we're close. We're real close. Put a couple of wheels on it, and we're close to the car. Close enough. Yes, and it's even taking off. My goodness gracious. Okay, I think we finally did it, folks, and I think we're all the way to the car. Did we make it? How much time do we have left? Recap. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Let's just put in a few more branches here. Now, everything in your drawing has been at some angle to another because if you've got 2 lines converging, you've got angles, okay? Lines, they came together. We made a acute angle here. We had an obtuse angle over here. Everywhere you look on this picture, you have angles. And I'm still talking and
Yeah, I know that was a good one.
And it's a wrap. Fabulous. Okay. And I get to hobble off now. And the chicken says,